All right. I'd like to call the Planning Commission of Village of Weston to order. Roll call, Valerie?
Maloney,
Here.
Cronin,
Here.
Gao,
Here.
Gert,
Here.
Jordan is excused, Minell,
Here.
and White.
Here. All good. Number three, approve the minutes from the February 8th, 2021 joint PC and ETZ meeting.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Manel, second by Gao.
No, I got a question.
Let's get a second first.
Yeah.
Second by Cronin. On the discussion, Dwayne.
Is that the meeting we had? What's the date again? What's that meeting?
February 8th? That'd be it.
I'm not here.
Yeah, you missed that one.
I'll make
You
sure.
waited, but you didn't show up. All right, any more on the discussion?
At least you're the sheriff tonight.
Hearing nothing on the discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 4, communications, opportunity for citizens to be heard. Opportunity for citizens to be heard, number 2. Opportunity for citizens to be heard, number 3.
There might be someone on Zoom.
Anybody on Zoom?
Michael is working on it.
I meant like everybody. I get so all over the board when I say that, so. Anybody got their hand up on Zoom?
No, I did get a message from Jim Pincinel though that he would like to speak. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out if it's now or for a certain topic.
Is he
Place in
on
public hearing,
is he on the agenda?
but
You want me to call
if he's on Zoom, he can speak through Zoom.
Yeah, he can go through Zoom.
I guess let him know he can unmute himself.
Okay, he said it's for the construction plan on the subdivision. Is when he'd like to,
Oh, okay, got it. And he's on, so he knows that?
he's on, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Let's see, moving on to number 5, no written communications, I understand, right? No? Number 6, public hearing. Let's see, public hearing, project number 202-10042, Dan Hickenbotham of Plover River Land Company, 2625 Northwestern Avenue, Wausau, Wisconsin, 54403. On behalf of property owners Ronald and Mary Dassler, 221987 County Road J, Schofield Avenue, requesting a rezone of the portion of the property at 8101 County Road J from AR, agricultural and residential, zoning district to B3, general business, zoning district as described as a parcel of land being of all of lot 1 of proposed CSM to be recorded in the 2021, except the portion already zoned B3 described in document number 856181 being about 7.07 acres located in the northeast 1/4 of the northeast 1/4 of section 25, township 28 north, range 8 east, village of Weston, Marathon County, Wisconsin. Parcel is identified as PIN number 192-2808-251-0999. And a portion of the property at 8101 County Road J from AR, agricultural and residential, zoning district to RR5, residential, rural residential, 5 acre, zoning district. Said parcel contains 245,508 square feet or 5.64 acres. Parcel is identified as PIN number 192-2808-251-0997. Open a public hearing. Presentation by applicant for Dan.
Dan is here.
Just state your name and address for the record, Dan.
You betcha. Dan Higginbotham, 2625 Northwestern Avenue, Wausau.
Yep.
What's going on here is that the portion, we'll take these kind of one at a time because there's 2 different rezones here. Lot 1, the north half of lot 1 is currently zone B3, but the owner, what the owner is wanting to do here, and Ron Dassler is here, they have the farmhouse that's on lot 2, and he's had that that was in the family, wasn't it? Ron?
Since 1975.
Okay.
So what he wants to do is he eventually wants the ability to sell the farmhouse. And he and his wife currently live east of lot 3. It's actually east of lot 2 and east of lot 3 is where they live. That's where their house is. And the driveway getting to that parcel that parcel's actually in Ringgold, but the driveway getting to it runs through lot 3. So they're trying to split off a small portion of their parcel so that they can have direct access, obviously, to County J. So that's the reason for the RR5 rezone. And on the north end on lot 1, the B3 rezone is just to expand the B3 area and make it, use the wetlands as a natural dividing line between the B3 and the AR zone. And so on lot 2, we would retain more than 20 acres there so that they would have still meet the AR zone requirements and have that parcel be able to sell. And it's kind of a natural grassland, farmland, and then with the wetland both north and south dividing it from the other zoning classifications. So can entertain any questions you might have.
Any questions for Dan? Okay, thank you, Dan. Public hearing, public comment period. Any comments from the public?
I may have a question.
Want to come up and state your name and address for a record?
Yeah, my name is Wayne Wanta. I live at 7813 Highway J.
Okay, thank you.
I own the 2 existing residential properties that are on the corner of Weston Avenue and J. One is 7809 and one is 7813. How is this, rezoning going to affect, these 2 residents, if any?
It will not, no, right? No, it will not. No,
It will not.
will not affect you at all.
So part of the property is already
Zone B.
zoned B3, so here's the current map.
Well, I looked at the communications that you guys sent me, and the 2 properties that I have are blue for looking at your.
Yeah, they're just single family residential, that's
Yeah.
because there's homes there. So I don't have the future land use map up, most likely. They're probably shown as commercial in the future, so if you wanted to sell them as residential, they could stay residential, or you could sell them as commercial, if that's what's on the map, I guess.
They do not, would they need to be rezoned to be,
No.
to sell either way?
It sounds like,
Like commercial or, you
If
said
somebody wanted
residential or
to use
commercial?
it,
wouldn't-
you could sell it to whoever, but if they wanted to use it as a commercial property, they would have to go through.
They would have to do the
right,
all the
Yeah.
other stuff. Okay,
in good shape. Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
it's residential right now, so it can be
Yeah.
used as a residence.
Okay,
thank you.
yep, thank you.
Any more from public? Anybody have their hand up on social media? No? Anybody else here that would like to speak? Any comment form filled out that we know of? No? Okay, do we have any for tonight? No? Okay. All right, close the public hearing. Discussion by plan commission members. Anybody have any questions or discussion they'd like to talk about? Not all at once. No discussion? All right, recommended by staff is approval, correct? Did I see that? Okay. Action and recommendation to the village board by plan commission.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Gard,
Second.
second by Marnell. Anything else on the discussion? All those in favor say ayes.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Let's see, how did I lose my spot? All right, number 7. Public hearing project number 202-10053, Brad Larson of Don Nicolai Construction, 8867 East 29th Street, Marshall, Wisconsin, 54449, on behalf of FTF Properties LLC from the Forest, 9004 Progress Way, Weston, Wisconsin, 54476.
I wanted to be up there today.
To allow for the addition of an outdoor dust collector at FTF Properties LLC property at 9004 Progress Way within the LI Limited Industrial Zoning District, which the use falls under the heavy industrial land use, which is only allowed within the L1 zoning district through a conditional use permit. The property is described as Weston Business and Technology Park South, lot number 6, consisting of 4.4950 acres. Parcel is identified as pin number 192-2808-243-0050. Open the public hearing. Is there a presentation by the applicant?
Brad is online
Okay,
and so is Trigby.
okay. Is there, do they want to have a presentation, or do they feel they don't need one?
I would, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I guess on behalf of Trigby and FTF, just wanted to present, I guess, our written, I think it has been presented already to you, but explaining with Trigby's expansion of his building, we are currently in the process of putting on a 60,000 square foot manufacturing addition with a small office addition.
Mr.
That is-
Chairman, could we have this gentleman identify himself for the record, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm sorry. I should have asked you for your name and address for the record. I'm sorry.
Brad Larson at 8867 East 29th Street in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
So I'm the project manager with Nikolai Construction, and we're doing a project for Trigby, which is a 60,000 square foot manufacturing facility addition to his existing building, which is also a manufacturing use. There is also a small office addition going with this new manufacturing addition, but part of his manufacturing addition will require additional capacity for his dust collector system. The two existing dust collectors at the current site are not sufficient to handle the new equipment that will be brought in. So OSHA regulations require dust collectors, and with the new equipment, this new dust collector, which is identical to the other two, would be added just south of the property, basically in line with the two existing. So since it is not an allowed item, we are asking for permission through the conditional use permit application to add this dust collector.
Okay. All right. Let me just get back to where I was here. Sorry about this. Okay. Public hearing. Anybody from the public wish to express their views or opinion? Anybody online? Michael? No?
Nobody's asking.
No, no written correspondence. We said no to that before. Okay, hearing none. Close the public hearing. Discussion by planning commission.
I move to approve the recommendation.
Okay, let's, any more discussion? Okay, recommendation from staff?
To approve.
Mr. Chairman, this is a motion to approve.
Oh, you were just gonna skip those two?
I move to approve the conditional use permit number 2021-0053 allowing the heavy industrial related land use
Okay,
L1 limited industrial zone district located at 9004 Progress Way.
is there a second?
Second.
Second by Manel. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I had a question, sorry. I tried to speak up.
Hey, you know what? I'm trying to throw the discussion out there and we missed two spots to quick approve it. So there's no discussion. We're done. It's approved.
Okay.
Okay? That's what I was trying to do. So just give me a little patience with me and I'll do just fine. Trust me.
Bit of information, Mr. Chairman, you can rule it out order.
It didn't. It's approved. New business. So Randy, you still on?
Brad.
Who? Brad? I'm sorry, Brad.
Yes.
Now I'm confused. So it's, you're approved, okay?
All right,
All right,
Thank
sorry
you.
about the confusion, mostly on me.
not a problem. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. New business, number 8, project number 202-10064, Elevate 97 on behalf of Quick Trip, 2727 North Central Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona, 85004, requesting a special exception to allow a larger electronic message and additional sign panel on an existing sign confronting conforming freestanding sign within the B2 highway business zoning district at 7701 Schofield Avenue, pin number 192-2808-232-0962.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
this is Lauren White. I move to approve the special exception request number 2021-0064, allowing a larger electronic message panel on an existing non-conforming site. It's a whole 1 foot square meter.
This is
Motion by,
Mr. Gerntal.
come on, you guys. Quit playing with me, all right? Just quit playing with me.
By the way, Mark, it's coming.
Let me have my episode. I'm okay now, all right? I'm okay. Jeez. It's all on camera. You guys love playing this over and over and over.
Mr. Chairman, that is coming up in the electronic meeting format.
Okay.
Remember reading that?
Oh, yes, thank you. So we have a motion by White, second by Gart. Any more on the discussion, Cronin?
We're good.
Oh, you're good? All right, just want to make sure.
Mr. Chairman, I want to clarify the address should be 3207 Schofield. The agenda does state 7701 Schofield. So just so we have the proper address.
Okay, so it's the one,
It's on the
Birch.
corner of
Birch.
Birch.
Birch, yeah, under construction, yep, okay, cool.
I recognize it from the pictures that you have.
Yes. Just taking a moment here.
It's a Monday, it's okay.
All right, okay, so we have a motion, we have a second with discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 9, project number 202-10049, discussion and recommendation to the Board of Trustees on proposed addendum number 3 to Stone Gate condominiums. Resubmittal of not ever being recorded, August 2020 approval plat.
So you guys saw this last year. The plat was never recorded, hence the agenda there. A developer has come in and bought all the undeveloped lots. In his purchasing, 2 of the lots don't meet his lot dimensions of houses he would like to build, they would like to build. And so he is willing to donate these 2 lots, and I am blanking on what those numbers are. I can't read that far. 17.
A17 and B43?
Thank you, young eyes, perfect. And so he would like to dissolve those and have them become common element, and just be part of the condominium. So new subdivision plat, condominium plat needs to be reapproved. All the homeowners have passed their homeowners resolution, and that is in the packet. And all the polygons have stayed the same from the last time you saw it, basically just being a little bit more free rein with the size house.
Thank you. What's your pleasure? Move to approval by Manel, second by Gart.
I would be recommend, just FYI, this has to go to village board next week.
Yep, okay. Anything else on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 10, project number 202-10077, discussion and action on a proposed concept plat for the Denyon Homes Birch Street subdivision. Well, we're supposed to have discussion and
Page
action.
84. Page 84, if somebody's scored.
Sorry.
We do have the engineer here if you guys have any questions.
Okay,
But otherwise, Heath Taffy of Denyon Homes has submitted a concept plan with a little bit of phasing in it. It's right below Birchland Highlands. The northern part of the subdivision would have some sort of multifamily, still in development works,
and then
multifamily development.
single to the south still? Okay.
And then transition to duplexes, condominiums, duplexes, and then going down into single-family homes.
Yep.
As you can see
Yep.
on the plat there. So this is just concept, we're just looking at basic layout. Staff is still in conversations in regards to utilities, and other little finagly rezoned pieces that would need to come forward before the plat could be approved.
Okay, Michael, you got your hand up?
Yeah, Jim has a question on this whenever we're taking.
Oh, Jim Penisel? Okay,
Could I just make a comment before we go too far?
Jen's gonna speak first.
So on the future land use map, this is shown as a neighborhood development. They did look at it as kind of for a mixed use. It does not meet that, so they would be looking at asking for a comp plan amendment, and they would be coming in specific to this layout. So they'd be asking for single family. The twin homes would be in that two family, and then the multifamily.
Let me in, okay,
So it would be done as that instead of
okay.
neighborhood development.
And Jim Penisel wants to speak on this? Michael?
Yep,
Okay, Jim, can you hear us? Jim, can you hear us?
I can.
Oh, there you are.
Excellent.
Go ahead, the floor is yours, Jim.
Great. Jim Pensino, 5002 Arrow Street. Thanks for your time. I think that it's great that we're developing this vacant parcel. I just had a couple of questions on the plan. I didn't see this on there. Maybe it is on there. I'm just not trained at reading plans well enough. On the top right, where it looks like the street just ends. Sure, you can stay on this screen. That's fine. Is that planning to continue to the east?
So that's a road that's gonna go into parking lot for the multifamily development that'll be up there. So it essentially will dump into a parking lot.
Main parking lot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, very well. And then the sidewalk, is there a sidewalk on Birch right now, right?
There is not.
No.
We're in the process of putting we have a 2022 scheduled reconstruction project of Birch Street, which would have a multi-use path on Birch Street then.
Very well. So then there would be sidewalk on both sides of all these new proposed streets, correct?
So that is typically what is required by code. Code does allow sidewalk on only one side. However, it does need to be 10 feet wide. Current plan shows 5 feet, but code requires 10.
Okay. And then the cul-de-sac that's in the south end of the south subdivision, could that be avoided by changing the road design to go around the perimeter of these parcels instead of right through the middle? I get it, it's more street, but we want to avoid cul-de-sacs in new village construction, and now's the time to do it when it's on paper before it's on pavement.
Yeah, there's wetlands through there. They have attempted to do that and they were not able to.
Which way?
There's a big wetland patch through there.
Did you hear that, Jim?
I did, yes.
Wetland? Okay.
Yep. So that road couldn't get extended forward and connect up to the horseshoe here or anywhere else?
No, there's a big wetland pocket.
So it runs
All
through
that
this.
like hashed arrow triangles.
Right, I understood, but people can build homes there though?
Yep.
On the upland, yeah.
Hold on, Lauren. Any more, Jim?
No, that is all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lauren.
As an observation, granted, we don't like cul-de-sacs. The fire department doesn't like them either, but it's fairly short. And from my point of view as a former firefighter, the hose that they carry would be able to get to the street, any one of those homes that are in that cul-de-sac. And they do make our cul-de-sacs large enough for our large apparatus to turn around in them.
Yep. And it lends itself to really nice garage sales. All right.
I think that's great, Lauren. That was my other question on the cul-de-sac. If it had to be there because of the wetlands or whichever, it is large enough. The cul-de-sac that I live on was just reconstructed months ago. It's on pause right now due to Old Man Winter, but it was not large enough for fire equipment, so it had to get made larger in size. Does this meet that current spec?
Yes, it does.
Thank
Okay.
you.
What's your pleasure?
I get a question on
Okay.
when, I guess I can't remember the time frame of it, but didn't we approve some multifamily to the east of this?
Yeah.
They came in for a rezone, but they have not come in with their final plans.
Right,
So
but-
some of it is, they could potentially be the developer of.
Mhm.
They could incorporate that in. I think he's here, he is, I believe, talking to Swiderski, so that could be, you haven't approved any final plans for that.
Right, but I know
Just a
discussions as far as, I think the end of the road fire access from the multifamilies on one with the multifamilies on the other. The idea was that there's gonna be connecting road through it.
Yeah, now that we know this and we've talked to them, whatever would happen on those two properties, it might not be a public road, but it would be some kind of a through street so that there'd be access in between the two. So there would be another way out, maybe not a public out to Camp Phillips, but basically that they're sharing that across each other.
I would also like to see sidewalk along the north side of that connecting street there, just because you're gonna have multifamily, the townhouses and the duplexes, you're gonna have a concentration of people there. I see the people that in the older apartments walking all the time, so I'm just thinking that it would be wise to have a sidewalk on the north side of that street also.
So this is the concept plan. They'll come back in with their preliminary plans and then they'll still have finals. So anything that you want them to consider, like the sidewalks up there. I don't know if you want to talk about the sidewalk situation.
Yeah, I was
get
gonna
your
ask if I
thoughts
could
on it.
If I could speak on the project. So Nicholas Vancic from Marathon Technical Services, 404 Franklin Street in Wausau. Yeah, I guess the reason we're here and not just skipping to the preliminary plat is because we are asking for some things that maybe are out of the ordinary. And so we don't want to get too far into the design stage before we get those worked out and find out what you guys are comfortable with. So we are dead ending. We did have a cul-de-sac on that northeast road originally, and staff suggested that we get rid of it. That the multifamily, it would just go into their parking lot and then they would connect accesses to the property on the east whenever they both develop. So there'd be emergency access for each. We are asking for sidewalk only on one side of the road, mainly for development cost. We are providing or proposing to provide an access to Birch Street. In addition, an extra one, as well as a sidewalk along the A&R gas line to connect those two roads of the horseshoe. So there's a short sidewalk there out to Birch Street and then that one over the gas line. So to the other guy's comments about connecting the road, that cul-de-sac on the south, there's a lot of wetlands on the site. There's an A&R gas line, there's an overhead power on the east side. There's a lot of things to work around. So we try to do our best to have as much as connection, not having many lots front on Birch Street, even though there is no access control. We only have 3 lots that would have driveways on Birch Street. The rest are all internal. We are proposing a maintenance road on the southeast outlot there for sewer maintenance and for stormwater maintenance because we're proposing a basin down there. We have been in contact with the county to allow us to put the sewer through their property as well as that maintenance road. So. Yes.
I'm sorry, Gal? Or Garnt? The blue on the bottom, Nick, what is that blue? Is that where the?
Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
That is the maintenance road.
Okay, that's the maintenance road and that's.
Yep. That would follow the sanitary sewer, would connect down to Camp Phillips.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And then on the north side, what's gonna be used above the, to the north of the 12 units?
That's the multi.
That's the multifamily. So I guess that's part of this concept plan why we're here is, as Jennifer said, we have to get this rezoned as well. So we're trying to delineate so that north big chunk is multifamily.
Oh, you just threw some on there. So that whole area could be all multifamily on both sides of the gas easement.
It's all one lot.
There's one lot right now.
Yep.
Yep.
And then below that is 3 individual lots with row houses.
Yep.
Which would also be multifamily.
Yep.
And then on the south side of that street would be twin homes, which would be 2-family.
Dwayne?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure the lots that would access Birch. Which ones are they?
I believe there are 8, 9.
2 eights. Isn't it 2 eights?
It'll be easier on the
You gotta get it lined up first.
6 and 8. And then,
A couple further south also?
and then
69.
87.
87.
87?
Three lots.
Right across from the.
Cause of gas easement.
Oh, it's already there. Oh, no. Is that already there? No.
No, so those greenhouses are just for our use to make sure we can fit a house between the setbacks and wetlands.
But Nick, you did a great job here.
Mm-hmm.
So the area to the north of those townhouses right now on the map, that would all be multifamily as well,
Like,
minus the wetlands that's up there?
Yes,
oh, that'd be like 2-story?
the row houses, I think you were proposing 2-story. Heath?
Okay.
Yeah,
And then what would be the multi?
They could be apartment buildings.
Sure, okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah.
I guess you could pay, so.
So how many?
But all accessing this one road out?
They could have an access out on Birch too.
They could,
put it
okay.
That way.
Okay. Yep, Dwayne?
Yeah, I just, Would you explain again how we would connect it to multifamily? In other words, with Swiderski's and this, or,
It's butts right up against it.
I know, but I see you.
They haven't designed it yet, so.
But you're recommending that it just goes to a parking lot, so what are your thoughts, what kind of access you guys talking about?
It would just be emergency private access, so I think the staff was, in our discussions, was their parking lots would connect with some sort of a road, the existing Swiderski parcel and then this parcel, as opposed to a public road.
Gary? Keith, I'm assuming that this would potentially, would this be a Swiderski development apartments?
I've talked to Swiderski and I've talked to different,
Okay,
but Swiderski makes a lot of sense.
yeah, because they're combined property next door.
Yep.
Okay.
Do all the work at once.
Anybody else?
How many apartments would fit on that 9 acres?
Did you have 6?
Did you hear that?
We have laid out, I think, 12 units, but we didn't lay out all the parking lots and, we haven't done a full analysis, but you could probably get 100 units on there.
Good.
60 to 100. Swiderski is, they're trying to buy it, so they think they can get 60. We're trying to sell it, so we think they can get 100.
I like those too.
As far as unit per acre, you could get 100. There's a lot of acres there, but a lot of it's wetland.
Yeah.
The density isn't an issue.
And it's all in our zoning code too, how many they can.
I would assume 2-story.
And if you went 3-story,
I
you're talking like third more than.
assuming there's enough acreage, yeah.
Yeah.
The 3-story apartments just get cost prohibitive with an elevator.
I think the concept is very, very, very well laid out. I like it. It's a nice layout. And, I think it buffers the projects to the north there. And, it turned out really well for the, I think some people struggled with this parcel. I know Swiderski looked at it earlier to try to do a subdivision plan on it as well with multifamily. So great job with it. I think I would recommend staying with Steve is potentially, depending upon on the northern side of that road, if we do need an extra sidewalk or some kind of walking trails in the apartments out to Birch Street, that'd be great. All right, Dwayne?
As a concept, I heard him say that, let's see, it's a 60-foot right of way and, or 30-foot back-to-back curb, which is for the residential. What about the main one going out for the apartments and all the complex? That's gonna be that smaller.
That's the same 60-foot right of way, which the code allows, and the 30-foot pavement.
And you're looking like 5-foot sidewalks, and we're talking, are we gonna have anything bigger, or is that what you're recommending?
We are suggesting 5-foot sidewalk on one side.
That conflicts our code
No, it doesn't mean.
internally. Okay, that's all I'm checking. Thank you.
Lauren?
So, I have a question. Staff has talked about a 10-foot, whatever, walking path, or whatever you call it, and you don't want to put 2 5-foot sidewalks on each side. To me, it's more expensive to put 2 5-foot because of the labor involved. Materials, not so much, at least my understanding, unless you're gonna throw down blacktop.
Right, we're actually looking for 1 5-foot sidewalk, so just on one side, it's just 5
I
foot.
got that.
As far as your question of 2 5-foots versus 1 10-foot, I would imagine the costs are similar. If you're gonna have sidewalks if you're gonna have a 10-foot wide, I would put 5 foot on both sides. I mean, planning wise.
Well, I can tell you, as I've been on this village board for quite a while, sidewalks seem to be the issue that most people raise their hackles over. Well, if it's on my side, I don't want to shovel a sidewalk. If it's on their side, I don't care.
They're gonna buy it. Be there for the buy.
Oh, then you don't buy that lot. I'm just a very little humor, sorry. Steve?
Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, does our code say that they have to have a sidewalk on both sides of the road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Or they can do the 10-foot on one.
Or the 10-foot on one, okay.
10-foot sidewalk on one side.
They
Or
call it
5.
multi-use.
It's on multi-use.
Yeah, I know, but wow, that would take away from some of those lots.
One of the lots would be pretty short then.
You're asking to do a 5-foot sidewalk on one side.
That's where I was going.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know how the rest of the planning commission feels, but I know we've gone back and forth with this on a couple other people, and I guess my 2 cents is just for the sake of keeping things consistent and fair for everybody. If we're gonna tell one person they have to have sidewalks on both sides of the road, then we gotta tell everybody, we have to have sidewalks on both sides of the road.
But I struggle with that, I'll be honest with you. Because in our subdivision that we did in Misty Pines, which Heath ended up buying, we have a sidewalk on each side of the street that goes nowhere. All right, so, I mean, on one side it does, but the problem that I would rather see is as a developer, I'd rather contribute to somewhere where that, you can put it through an existing neighborhood then, put it somewhere. I don't need 2 of them in my subdivision, one on each side.
I think there's a difference though when you have multifamily or duplexes and row houses. I think you get a concentration of people much more than you would on the.
Oh, sure, but I highly agree with you up on the top side. You're good, you would want you would want double up there on that side. But down and through the regular subdivision, I don't know that you really need to. This is all curb and gutter and is it flat to the sidewalk? You can walk through the ditches?
It's all curb and gutter and, yeah, flat boulevard.
Okay, yeah, so you could walk through the boulevard to get from one side of the road to the other.
I think Dwayne, just real quick here, are we deciding this or deciding concept first? We can do these sidewalks later.
No, I think they're looking.
Well, they're looking.
Oh, they wanna know now?
We're looking for direction.
Got it, okay. Dwayne?
I have a question of the staff on Birch Street. You said you plan to put another, design there with a walkway,
With a multi-use path,
and you have enough right away, existing right away to do that?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Now's the time you want it.
Lauren?
So we've talked about the Crestwood Acres subdivision where there's sidewalks on both sides. It's, for me, it's kind of contradictory. One place we want sidewalks on both sides, the other place we don't want them on the sidewalk. Granted, his developer is paying for costs on both sides, and the village is not paying for sidewalks on both sides in his case. But
we are paying for both sides at Crestwood.
yes, we are.
Yep.
Actually, you and I are. Everybody that pays taxes is paying for it. So, and I paid for 40-some years for everybody else's sidewalk, which is fine with me.
I'm sorry. Heath. Oh, Heath,
I
sorry.
just, just a comment about sidewalks is Windermere Oaks doesn't have any sidewalks. And then right across the street, you're gonna have 2 sidewalks. So I understand it's kind of like the 1-car garage code. I think you gotta look at your code and see if there's a better buffer option to go from nothing to double sidewalks. It seems, I understand the conflict and, but the other thing is does that residential neighborhood, if you put double sidewalks, are you inviting everybody to walk through your subdivision as opposed to using the multi-use path that's being developed on Birch? So as Gary talked about Misty Pines, people do use the sidewalks. I think they'll use it on one side. I've looked at several larger communities and it's not uncommon. It's fairly common to do sidewalks on one side. So it's just more a presentation, what we think would work well, and it does save some money. And it does give you the safety of a sidewalk for children and pedestrians, and it connects to a multi-use path that people, it gets them to the multi-use path, so they're using it, and so they're not using the subdivision as the place for recreation.
Well,
I'm asking staff again, on Birches, what side do you plan on putting the multipaths?
I was looking at probably the east side,
Same side.
it's the same side as this subdivision.
That's all I need, thank you.
Gary?
How does the village feel about widening the road and just using part of the pavement, widening the road out and having a bicycle or walking path in the road?
These are gonna probably be catered more to younger families, I would think. I mean, when I had little kids, I didn't want them on the road. That was some of the reason I didn't let my kids play out when I lived out in the Taffy subdivision out there. They weren't in the road, they were in my driveway.
I totally agree. I just fret going through that neighborhood. I live right in the beginning.
There's a lot of kids out there.
And there's a tremendous amount of kids, and when you get into that, when it's starting to get dark,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing 5 miles an hour. And there's just a tremendous amount of traffic out there. the neighborhoods think it's fine because that's their playground.
Right.
But there's no sidewalks out there, and if that's one thing we could have changed, that's something that we would have changed way back when. But, and that's why, you know, Heath, when you bring up the none versus two, we can't go back. This is it. This is what we're dealing with. And I'm telling you, we hear an awful lot about the sidewalks. Do they wanna shovel them? No. They don't wanna shovel them. Nope, they don't want them on their side, you know? I mean, we're putting them in free in Crestwood, and they don't want, some want sidewalks, some don't, and we're putting them in for free. They don't wanna shovel them.
Not free, exactly.
Mark, go ahead.
Michael,
Oh, it's under taxes.
village is receiving for Birch Street, does that depend upon having multi-use capability?
It does not, no.
That's what I wondered.
Okay, because I know some of the grants and require.
Yeah, the state law changed a couple years ago. Now you actually have to show them proof that your community wants to have it for those costs to be eligible for reimbursement.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, what do you think?
The sidewalks are a big thing. It's hard to explain, but that Birch Street is pretty busy. There's a lot of traffic right now, I feel. I go there 4 or 5 times a week. I just can't imagine having that many apartments and condos or townhouses and stuff there without sidewalks. That neighborhood's gonna be filled with people walking. I know Regis development across the street, there's people constantly on that street. My father-in-law lives on that street, so.
Birchwood Highlands is very active too.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So are you're advocating actually sidewalks on Birch too? On the backside?
Well, I don't know why we wouldn't.
Why would you connect it to?
Right.
Otherwise, where,
Multi-use path.
otherwise where are they going? Oh, there's a multi-use there?
Yeah,
That's when you're on the east side?
On the east side.
Oh,
Michael's
okay.
got that in.
All right. No,
I mean, he's in the process of doing all this.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of it.
Then that's a done deal on Birch,
Exactly, but-
okay.
Get your pointer out, Mike.
Oh,
Oh, I left it.
it's where the red line is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're good.
one thing I'm wondering, just looking at this now and listening to this conversation, they've got that through like the little walking path through the middle there, that in that light blue. It probably should go up and through those 2 townhomes.
That's
We,
not one.
we only have it on the bottom between
That's
that,
not?
right
Oh,
there,
okay.
yep.
What's there?
That's a sidewalk through those lots
Oh,
right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So there
And you're not-
probably should be something.
You're not proposing them in their backyards of the gas easement.
Not the rest of it, no.
Probably none of that.
I can read that, so.
It's just the lot line, yeah,
Understood.
it's a lot line.
I like the layout. It looks really, really nice. I think the biggest struggle is gonna be sidewalks with staff or with the,
Is it, I mean, what's the inventory of homes right now? Still pretty low? Now, this is what you don't wanna tell me. You wanna tell Swiderski, that it's 100, spots, but yet.
I can tell you as of today in our multi-listing, which is Marathon County,
Yeah.
there's 69 homes to sit for sale from 0 to $1 million. That's it. That's
I know.
what we
Is
can
that all?
offer.
So that's, my point is, the little bit more you throw in for sidewalks, make it walkable. There's no inventory out there right now. I know you think you're gonna save up in the front, but can't you add that little bit of cost into the entire project to get it paid back by the purchasers?
like how many feet of road are in here?
I mean, are you gonna,
I honestly don't know, because we haven't priced it out yet.
well, I mean, are you gonna disclose to these lots, which one has a sidewalk?
Well, so I've done this before, and in Fountain Hills, it's got, if you have someone that's opposed to it, it is a marketing advantage, they
Yeah.
can pick a lot without it, but I'm not.
That's what I'm
We're
saying,
talking
so
about it. We
if they see that one side, and I'm coming in there, hell, I'm not taking that side. I'll get my kids trained to walk across the street and get on the sidewalk.
Right, but we're open to your suggestions. That's why we-
And I didn't know the actual numbers, okay, well, I know it's very, very low. I mean, I hear it from everybody, and we're just thrilled to death, number one, that we're having this problem of sidewalks with, developers wanting to come in here. We got a lot of projects going on in Weston. Thank you. But isn't there a way that you can just see your way through I know you didn't do the cost estimates yet, can we talk about it at a different time? I don't know. I just think, what are we talking about on sidewalk? Anybody have a guess? I mean,
Michael probably might have.
Well, that's what I was asking, how many feet road there are.
I don't know how many feet of road there are.
I could just tell you from the last subdivision
Right.
that we've developed in Croninwetter, it's about $6,000 to $7,000 cheaper to develop without curb gutter and sidewalks. I don't know what.
That per lot?
but this is curb and gutter, right?
This is curb and gutter.
So I'm just talking the sidewalk.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know.
This,
Just the sidewalk.
let's say the sidewalks and this would probably be 75 to 100.
What?
I'm adding one more set of sidewalks to it.
75 what?
75 to 100 grand.
Oh, great, okay.
Point, that's why I asked Nick how many feet.
Yeah, I think it's probably somewhere about maybe $1,500 a lot.
$1,500 a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? $1,500 a lot, $2,000 a lot, $2,500 a lot? What are we talking about here?
They might want to raise the price of the land,
Huh?
you're saying that.
I know, I mean, seriously though, for the safety and the, I mean, come on, $2,500 if it's really $1,500. I just,
For the amount of people that were gonna be putting on that site.
I really think you should do it. I wanna seed this into you so that you decide to do it. I don't wanna say you should have to, but I really think it's the right thing to do.
Well, I
really
think,
do.
I think what they're looking for tonight is they're asking for a blessing so they can
Right.
budget.
Oh, I'll bless this baby all day long.
Well, they need to know, are we okay with the road width?
Yeah.
Are we okay with, we went for sidewalks? They need to do that in order to draft a plan up in order to put it out for bid.
I'll tell you, save $4,000 and pull that little creepy little sidewalk through the backyards there. I wouldn't want one of those 4 houses with people walking on my side of my house.
That's not planned.
Huh?
That's not
Oh,
planned.
okay, well then. we're out there.
That light blue is the
Pipeline.
A&R pipeline easement.
Where the pointer is.
So that little thing.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
We actually have.
Oh, you need
A
that.
couple of those,
I
Mark.
know there's a few out there. I wouldn't want to be on one of those. That's just some weird stuff going on.
We can remove it.
That's okay.
And I know it's only $4,000 you save, but
It was a big lot.
I would gladly approve this right now if you guys could see your way through of throwing some sidewalks everywhere. Especially up on that, in that heavily traveled up at the top area. That's gonna be heavily traveled,
Big lot.
everything.
I don't mind taking that out of there for that reason, for those 4 lots, it does make it less valuable to have that trip, but I think staff wanted that for shortcut for pedestrians,
So
but
that was another one based.
Shortcut.
So pedestrian blocks, are supposed to be 900 feet. This road is about 1,800 feet, which meets the road length, but pedestrian length crossings are supposed to be every 900.
Well, those 2 long ones would be medium exercise, and then you label this curve extra exercise. Seriously, I don't think we should be doing that. I mean, I'm in a house right now that your father didn't let that be a walkway to the river. Thank God. I would have hated to have a walkway to the river right there. He put some monster trees in there, and I should write him a thank you. Anyway.
I do think the one that Jen was talking about,
Yeah.
to the north might be more useful than the one to the south, that's not even on there.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I would agree
From
as
that
well.
street between.
I mean, I think if you keep that little one to the north there and then axe that one on the south, you're not really saving all that much if someone wants to make a shortcut. They can make a little jog over and then. keep
Well,
on
and that,
Birch
if they
Street.
wanted to, they could put some of that vinyl.
What's that thing called? What'd you call that, Michael?
The what?
That little creepy little sidewalk in there?
This one?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you said something. It's a shortcut. Yikes.
So it's a pedestrian way. I mean, so say you live here.
Yeah.
And your 10-year-old kid's friend lives right here. I don't know,
They're walking
yeah.
or driving.
I rode
Hell.
it for 3 miles to get
Yeah.
to this place.
So, yeah.
So I guess that's another thing though, just so you know, when it comes to the plan, that'd be asking for an exception from the current pedestrian connectivity.
Okay. Dwayne?
I'm gonna tell you that I've looked at a lot of subdivisions, what Mike's talking about, you have a big loop that goes all around, that you call it a shortcut, that's a very good location to have a sidewalk, to connect community, you're connecting neighborhoods together, you gotta look at the whole big picture. If you look at people, the kids that walk all the way around the whole loop to get to his neighbor on the north, that little sidewalk connection between the gas line is very easy to connect the neighborhood, the whole neighborhoods together, think about it. And the other one going out to Birch Street is where they connect to the new, our pedestrian trail, so you want people to get through, you don't want them running a whole great big loop, horseshoe loop there. You want to be able to cut across so the kids can communicate. Got it?
Yes, Dwayne, and thank you for that education. I love the birch one. The birch one's a great one. And,
Hey, can I ask a question?
I think we ought to put 6 shortcuts all over the damn thing.
That's a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel that planning commission is a little easier than before?
It's more fun.
See, you smile a little bit.
All right.
So we have one sidewalk, one side, we're gonna leave it like it is, right?
60-foot right of ways, are we fine with that? Put on the checklist. 34-foot back-to-back curb?
The next 3 subdivisions that ask for one sidewalk, what are we doing?
Do you think there should be double up on the top though?
Yeah, they said that already. Everybody agreed to that at the top.
Yes, Lauren?
The curb and gutter, is it flag and whatever the heck, or?
No, it's true curb and gutter.
True curb and gutter?
Because they're not ditching anything.
They're not the multiple ones?
No, because
No.
we'll have storm ponds for.
Yep, there'll be inlets and storm
Maybe
sewer.
soils.
Okay, thank you, that answers my
So
question.
we can't do mountable curb? Have we talked about that?
We haven't,
Let's talk.
the only,
Your stormwater is gonna be difficult, Nick, on that,
And when
isn't
you
it?
start plowing, you start running up on the boulevard.
we prefer full head for stormwater, but
Yeah, you can.
it's easier to obviously to place your driveways.
Don't add me to the we. I prefer, so mountable curb makes it so much easier to put in your driveways and not
Right.
having to plan 92 driveway approaches.
That's all, you're right, Heath, that's always a battle, because you gotta almost place every one of these houses on them lots. If you're gonna do it when you're doing the preparation. Otherwise, you're cutting curb out and busting it and re-pouring it. It just is a lot of wasted money.
I've never, like, again, I'll go back to Fountain Hills, it's just subdivision I developed, and we never had any issues with plowing or, I mean, I don't understand that, but.
Does the village have a code that requires one or the other?
We do not.
Okay, so I don't think that's something you have to decide today.
Oh, I don't.
But we do plan on having a curb, it's not gonna just be a ribbon, it will have some sort of a head, whether it's mountable.
How much cheaper is if it's mountable versus?
I don't think there's any savings.
Probably the same.
Not much.
It more saves if
In the driveway.
Up
cut.
driveway approach, because otherwise you have to cut curb out and redo it, that's about $2,000 a lot if it's in the wrong spot.
Bingo, both sides sidewalk right there, you just made $500.
There you go,
Yep, right.
So, Heath, would that be a good compromise?
right there, that's a good compromise.
I would like to test this neighborhood, and then we can see how it goes with the mountable, and see how it is that way.
We do have mountable curb and other,
We could have just stopped with what I was talking about. Absolutely just froze and stopped and made the thing pass. So, okay? Yes.
You've been at this meeting too long, I think.
Well, no, I got a nice chair though. I went in there and got nice chairs. I knew this was gonna go. All right.
It sounds like, Mark, it sounds like we hit everything. We're good on the right of way, we're good on the back-to-back, we're good on the sidewalk, as long as he's willing to do
He's
2 on.
smiling. The presenter's smiling. This is all-
Zoning, we're good on the zoning?
Yeah.
He's zoning, she's zoning, you know.
Okay.
We got the 2,
Like the plan.
That's the zoning right here. Yeah.
This one's for a future land.
Yeah.
Multifamily zoning, I'm a little uncomfortable right now today, not knowing whether.
Right, the issue is that if Heath isn't developing it himself, it depends on who buys it and what they want to put in there. You know, everyone has a different plan, whether it's 1-story, 2-story, you know, a mix of this, it's hard to say what can go in there.
Highly likely 2-story, 8 or 12 units.
Okay.
There'll probably be 8 to 10,
Okay.
8 or 12 unit buildings out there. We have a concept, but we're not gonna build it, so good.
Wayne, did you have some? No? Nope. Steve?
I like it.
I'm still hung up on how this shared private road or emergency access road or whatever it would be is gonna look.
Well, it's just, basically what it's gonna be is if Swiderski's, connect to it, it's just gonna be part of their development. It'll just tie together as a secondary outfall for vehicles. If somebody wanted to get out of Swiderski instead of going down to.
Yeah, that's gonna work. Yep.
Okay, so it's not gonna be like just an emergency road, anybody can use it, it'll just be all
Just leave
private.
their parking lots matched up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's all-
meant for
that's all I got.
emergency use, but someone on lot 53 isn't going to be using it to get out
You
to
know,
Camp Phillips.
Renaissance has a couple exits and entrances, and it says emergency use only, or, you can't go in off of East Texas.
Only.
Yeah,
Or
exit.
say somebody on
Private drive.
somebody on Swiderski's side may say, I wanna go to the hospital. They may drive through there and
Yeah.
hit the hospital
Yeah.
in view of going down the
Yep.
X and coming up and around, whatever.
Very close to an approval.
And you're probably gonna wanna loop it anyway, right?
Loop what?
The water then?
Yeah, so I guess we still have to get through all those details.
I mean, if Swiderski were to buy it, you'd probably make that part of the condition that you would loop the water.
Yeah.
Then it would be nice if that was looped as well.
Were you gonna put that in a motion, Gary?
What?
I didn't know if you were gonna, what?
Motion to approve?
Well, it's discussion and action.
Yeah, if you can lay out all the pieces for clarification.
You have to
Or-
ask.
What
Yes.
do you want at this meeting?
So we just wanna map out the direction so that they know and staff knows what you guys want for the preliminary plat.
Well, we're talking, so can we leave it at, we don't have to do nothing? Okay.
Well, I think what we probably should do is we should probably get something written or
Yes.
something.
Okay.
So I would say we're gonna approve the plat, concept plat with 60-foot right away, 30-foot back-to-back curb, 5-foot sidewalks, and we're gonna axe the one side and put two sides. We're gonna allow them to do mountable curbs. There you go. A 5-foot path, to Birch Street and over gas line, 10-foot gravel maintenance road for stormwater basement and sanitary manholes.
That's pretty good.
I second.
Motion by Garnt, second by Cronin. Any discussion?
My discussion.
Yep, Cal?
Want to talk about this concept of zoning to, in your motion?
I think that's what's second.
That'll just come through with the preliminary plat.
Yeah,
You
it's
still
gonna-
have to
okay.
determine.
They're gonna have to dovetail that, yes.
Discussion.
Yeah. Okay, yep, discussion? Any more discussion?
What is zoning? Is zoning the next step or is approval the next step?
You could bring them at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
So the preliminary plat and the rezone
Good job.
request and the.
Yeah, good job.
Could all be done at the same time.
Chief, just make sure to pay her tomorrow morning, just be done with it.
Yeah.
They're done.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
Staff reports, number 11, project. Yep, thank you, everybody.
You guys will see it.
Seen you, Dave. Yep. Staff reports, number 11, project number CU-5-17-1637. Acknowledgement of vibration and noise study required and conditional use permit issued to Mitch King and Sons, 6205 Municipal Street.
Move to acknowledge.
Move to acknowledge by White,
Second.
second by Gao. Anything on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 12, acknowledge report regarding February 2021 staff approved certified survey maps and site plans.
Move to acknowledge.
Move to acknowledge by Gao,
Second.
second by Cronin. All, anything on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 13, acknowledge report regarding February 2021 building permits.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledged by Garnt,
Second.
second by Gao. On the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Miscellaneous. Is miscellaneous, we have this in for A, just to remind us every time, right?
Yes.
So this
Okay,
is just a
that's
list
what I
of the outstanding
Yep, because
projects.
I had a discussion with Joe again, and I'm gonna have a discussion with more here, but I think we can actually act on that with the other two sides kind of going forward. I don't think we need the two corners to be able to decide on this. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes? I agree, okay. So,
So do you want us to bring it forward?
yeah, not tonight, yeah, not
No, the
tonight,
next
yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, yes. the next-
Originally, it had kind
Yep.
of waited, but there's still issues with the
Yep,
two.
but I think we're gonna get there, and I think we need to settle, after 3 years, we gotta settle this,
Yep.
okay?
Mark,
yes.
not to interrupt you, but can you tell me, I heard you say, we don't need all access points? Or?
No, we need those two corners.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Still-
Oh,
You're working, somebody's,
well,
Yeah,
uh,
so there's still, there was an issue with the trust for
Mhm.
one.
Yep.
That they're working through the trust, the Joe Bushka's trust.
He's in agreement with it, it's just.
Yeah, there's just the
Oh.
paperwork issue.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of different people working on it to
And
move
the
it forward.
Podleski issue is probably gonna be going to the board, I thought Keith said
Yes, okay,
to talk about it a little bit.
okay, good, good. We're probably saving an hour right now without Keith here. So anyway, I'm sorry, just,
We won't tell him.
if he's listening, I'm sorry. He's probably got 4 or 5 beers in already, you know.
He's driving.
Oh, he's driving, okay. Mary Lane, okay, so B, continued discussion of needed amendments to chapter 94 zoning. I plan unit development language were, and then I know 14 got pushed back, so some question and answers. Park impact needs assessment.
So we have that back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping at the next meeting just to have that introduced to you again.
Okay,
We'll have to come to a decision on the numbers. So basically, the way that the state statutes read, you have to do this impact needs assessment to determine how much you can charge.
Right.
So now Mark has gone through that. We've broken the fees into 2 different fees, and now there's a window when you guys get to set that.
yep, okay. I'm gonna skip D and E and go to F, proposed amendments to chapter 14. We're gonna postpone that till we get some question answers. I'm now going back to D and E, and can I get a whoop whoop? We got that going, both of them going to public hearing. Don't act so excited, everybody. You know, it's not often you get to do that at one of these, so, all right, fine, don't do it. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Number 15, next meeting date, Monday, April 12th, 2021.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah. Well, if you take a look at the agenda, it says Monday, March 8th.
Yeah,
Yes.
I emailed Valerie.
The paper,
Made that.
that's
I
just,
fixed it.
that's to see who noticed it. I noticed it.
Valerie on?
On electronic, I agree.
I will not be in the next meeting,
Okay, the 8th or the 12th?
the 12th.
Okay, all right. But she had a reoccurring meeting tonight on March 8th, so. Let's see, the 12th you won't be here, okay? So noted, somebody? And that and a quarter will get you a cup of coffee at Perkins.
A quarter?
Oh, maybe not. 16, remarks from staff? Anything? Nope. Commission.
Date for the hearing.
Commission members, Cronin?
Good.
Gow? Good. Good. Garn?
I got one question. On a mixed use, Jennifer, could you explain to us on a mixed use project, how much of that mixed use project has to be commercial versus residential?
Doesn't.
I don't think there's any real.
I've never seen a formula.
Most of the time, it's usually the first floor, so
Yeah.
one that's being proposed to us right now, that someone's looking at, has half of it being a retail area, the other half of the building would be parking for the 2 floors up above it.
Okay.
So the
there's
backside
really-
of the commercial would be parking
So
for the
there's really-
upstairs resident?
So no, it has a retail, so there's storefront in the front,
Yeah,
under building, like over top of the building, first floor parking for the residents up.
And the parking unit back for residential, right?
The apartments are above.
But if someone came in and wanted to put a building that was 100% commercial on a mixed-use property, would that be allowed or?
sure.
Yes.
And some of
But-
them, like what Mark was showing you, would have maybe a full commercial building and a full apartment building on the same site. You know, there's different uses on the site,
Different
they don't
building.
have to be in the same building.
But if somebody wanted to put a residential unit and they wanted to slap a subway right in the middle of it, just a small little subway, that would be fine.
Residential.
Like an apartment building with a subway unit.
2-story,
Or
3-story,
Starbucks?
whatever it may be.
But yeah, that could.
And it's perfectly
Mixed use
fine.
is fine.
Mixed use,
A
yeah.
lot of times they'll just have like a corner, some of
Yeah.
them like.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
Out there along the waterfront there.
Yes,
Some of them only
yes.
have like maybe a coffee shop
Okay, thank
or a
you.
restaurant.
it adds character to the differences.
Your turn.
All right, remarks, White?
None, sir.
Why not?
One comment, we heard things tonight about the 2 TIFs and stuff, just casually talked about. But I think that we should at some point, and as a trustee also, you reevaluate the TIF goals and what we're looking to do between now and
31st.
20 years from now.
So
Yeah.
there'll be, after we get the plans adopted for like Schofield Avenue, we have to do an amendment to that TIF plan, the TIF 2 plan. So there'll be an amendment coming forward like quickly afterwards. And so that we can actually utilize the money. And as part of that, we'll start having those discussions.
But we should be having discussions, I mean, we should have not just a reaction to what the developer wants to do, but I think we
Right.
have to have something so that the TIF money is not being viewed as just a gift to the
Yep.
developer, so that we get a bang for our buck. job creation, that type of thing. I do not think it'd be appropriate for us to take taxes from the businesses along Schofield Avenue to give it to the developer to put up a 8-unit or something like that. I do not think that that's a wise use of the TIF money. We need to have discussions as a whole at this level, as well as the trustees figuring out what's the best way to proceed with the TIF money. And I'm just saying that, it's just, I don't like the idea of it being a gift.
And I'm gonna go last. Anybody look at the clock? Never in my wildest dreams. I think we'd get out of here at 7:19.
Somebody ate.
Never.
I was thinking closer to 9.
I jinx it. I always tell my wife midnight, so. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
By Gal, second by Garn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7:19. Awesome.